Which one is it to tilt this? Oh, this. I forgot. How much time do we have left?
I don't know. It's like almost dead.
Should we charge it?
I don't know, Mom, but you know.
Yeah, I gotta finish the video, so I'm gonna charge it.
Alright. I gotta send it to you.
Greetings, kings and queens, and welcome back to Queen in the Salads with me, your host, T. Today's recipe, we are going to be making Insalada Di Cavolo Nero, which is translated from Italian to English, Black Kale Salad. No, it's not black kale. It's a hearty, dark green kale. I'm going to show you all the ingredients that I usually do and the process of how I make it, and as much as I can. But I should say it's actually called the name of it also in Italian is also called lacinato. It's the type of kale, or some people call it Tuscan kale, usually in supermarkets or in fruit stands or places that sell vegetation. If they sell this, most of the time you won't see lacinato. You probably would see Tuscan kale, dinosaur kale, or black kale. Usually Tuscan kale. That's what I've seen. You'll probably see, well, it's rare that you would see lacinato kale, but probably like in some Italian markets and things like that. So I do have some on the side. I am steaming some Brussels sprouts, and I did stuff some mushrooms early this morning that I had for breakfast with some avocado. Let me just stop making this intro so long and get into it. Okay guys, so here's the ingredients that we're going to be using. There is only just 7 ingredients. I should say this is not a traditional black kale salad. You can make it's just an Italian name for the kale, but you can use whatever kale, you can use whatever you want in your black kale salad. But this is what it looks like. You see that texture, why they probably would call it dinosaur kale. I mean, I never seen dinosaur skin. So I have like about 3.5 bunches here. I got 6 ounces of blueberries, about 3/4 of a cup of walnuts. I usually would have used sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds, but I don't have any more. A juice from 1 lemon and about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 1 small to medium onion. I think this might be too small because I like a lot of onions. And 1 avocado. I'm going to remove the kale from the stems. I just want to show you how I do it, because I'm not going to take the kale off every stem. You'll just get the idea. So this is what I do. Take it from here, pull it, and usually it just comes right off. It's okay if you have a little bit of stem, I don't mind, because if there's the skinnier ones, I'm just gonna chop the stems up with it. Spit it out, T, spit it out. Okay, so I'm gonna remove all of this from the stems and come back and show you how I'm gonna chop it. Okay guys, so I removed all the stems from off the kale. As you see, if you remember, if they're little, I'm gonna keep them on there. Here are the stems. What I do is I juice these, or I'm not gonna juice these, but I do usually. I'm gonna put them in the freezer and use them for make a vegetable stock or a soup or something. So this is what we yielded. Okay, but the first thing I'm going to do before I do start cutting this, I'm going to pour some lemon juice in here, because I want to, this is the juice from 1 lemon. I want to put there's a few seeds in there. I want to put the avocado in there and let it soak inside so it doesn't turn brown. And I'm sorry, I thought I took all the pits out, but I guess I didn't. Bear with me. Okay. So let's see, we cut up this avocado. Let's see how it looks inside. It looks like it's good. Perfect. You cut them in like little cubes, as big as you want. This is an easy way. You can take it out with a spoon, or you can turn it upside down, such as so. Very easy and simple. It's nice, soft, and ripe. The other one, the other half. Same thing. I love avocados. I already had one today for breakfast. For a while I wasn't buying these from Mexico because there was a time when they had a fungus issue, so I was buying the ones from Florida or the Dominican Republic. Let me wipe my hands off. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Ground up some black pepper. As much as you want, whatever your taste buds. Mix it around so that all the lemon juice can touch as much as the avocado as possible. I'm going to set this aside. Then I'm going to start cutting up the kale. Now I should say that because this is it's a heavy kale, it's very hardy. It's different than all the other kales. So with the acid from the lemon juice, I'm going to let this sit probably for like about 10 or 20 minutes so that this kale can soften up because it tastes much better when it's soft. Or you can massage it, but I don't want to massage it and release all the oils and make it too dense because then it'll get too watery. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to cut it up, prepare it, let it sit, and when I'm done with all of that, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. You can cut this as thin as you want. It's better cut thin rather than too thick. This is my favorite kale. Favorite. Okay. Put that in a bowl. I'm going to mix this around a little bit. I did have a little spoon here. What do I do with it? Not sure, so I'm going to use my hands. Just to mix it a little bit. The spoon is inside here, I think. Or is it? There it is. Oh, goodness. Let that sit for a few minutes while I cut up the onion. I think this would be a good size. I want to cut it thin, not in cubes. Can you guys see? Yeah, you can see. If you don't want to see this whole process, you can skip through. This is how thin that I've done most of them. Some of them are thinner, you notice. So I'm going to break these all up. This is what I do before I put it inside the salad, so you don't have all of these pieces of onion together. You get a piece of onion basically in every bite. My eyes are starting to tear. My eyes are starting to burn from the onion. Don't cry for me. Put that in the bowl. Just wipe this off. Clean as you go along. Okay, so there's with the onions. I'm going to add those blueberries, walnuts, olive oil, mix this around. I'm telling you guys, this is my favorite salad. Look, you could put raspberries in here, blueberries, strawberries, whatever you want. It's entirely up to you. I like it like this though, but I never really put walnuts in it, but I don't, like I said, I don't have sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds. I would prefer either one of them, or sometimes I put both of them in there, but I don't have none. I just have walnuts and pecans. I didn't want to put the pecans in here because I think it would throw off the taste. And I am going to be making one of these patties. And this is the brand, it's called Morning Star. It's a vegetarian patty. It's a chipotle. So I have that in the toaster oven while I'm doing this. Put this aside and let me show you what else we're having. These are those stuffed mushrooms that I said that I made this morning for breakfast. These I overcooked, and I don't like overcooked Brussels sprouts, but I like them a little crunchy, but I'm still gonna eat them anyway. And this is just a grapefruit over here. But I want to cut one of these in half because I want to show you what it looks like. By the way, I use a special kind of stuffing, and I use the stems, some onions, and celery. I softened up the mix with a pumpkin soup. Next time I'll show you that. I didn't even think that this could be a part of the video. I'll show you another video preparing those stuffed mushrooms. You can stuff them with anything actually. This is what it looks like cut open. These are baby portobellos. So I'm going to set everything up, wait for the patty to finish, and get that together. I'm only going to be using on my bread, a little roll I have is some veganese and a couple pieces of red leaf lettuce. So we'll be right back. I wanted to show you guys one more thing. I got these. It might not be a big deal to you guys, but it's a real big deal to me. These are both 28 ounces of Brussels sprouts. At the market that I go to, I guess they had too much that they can't put out in a case, so they put them in these packages. 28 ounces each for 99 cents each. I already ate half of this one already. I just wanted to share that with you guys, that if you don't have to spend a lot of money, don't. Okay guys, so this is what everything looks like. Here's the salad. grapefruit, Brussels sprouts, stuffed mushrooms, and here is that plant-based burger, well, plant-based chicken patty. Okay guys, so this is what everything looks like. Here's the salad. Grapefruit, Brussels sprouts, stuffed mushrooms, and here is that plant-based burger, well, plant-based chicken patty. Hi guys, welcome back. We already know what we're having. I already showed you everything, explained everything to you, but I didn't share that on the side. I'm having what kind of tea that I make? Turmeric ginger tea. I was doing so many different things today since early this morning. I'm gonna take a few bites, but there was a few things that I wanted to talk about first, but I just want to take a few bites of everything. So let's dig in. We got the kale salad going. Sam, do you want half of this vegetarian chicken patty? No. See, I let this soften up because when you make this, guys, if you're going to, I thought I lowered the volume on my phone. You have to let this sit for a few minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depends on how soft you want it. Because if you eat it right away, it might be, it depends on if you like it bitter. I don't mind eating it this way or the other way. It might be a little bitter and probably a little tough, but the lemon juice kind of, the acid in the lemon juice kind of softens it up and makes the kale a little bit more tender. So I like it that way too. So let's have a few bites. Paper towel. You guys like my little kind of wine glass type? I don't know why I use it for a salad bowl. I got this from a party store. I have a few bites of this. Really good. Really nice. Nice thick onion. Salute. Nice tea. I think I overcooked my Brussels sprouts. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, I did. But it's okay. They still taste good. That was a nice price. I got two 24-ounce packages. Is it 24 ounces? No. 28 ounces. Each for 99 cents. So $2 for 64 ounces. Or 54. What is that? I used to be good at math. Oh man. They're gonna send me back to school. mushroom. Where's the one I cut in half? Oh, I think I ate that one. I'm gonna have to cut this. Hey, Sammy. Unprepared again. Can you give me a little purple knife, please? Grazie, mi amore. Thanks. Grapefruit. Grapefruit is one of my favorite. Well, I love all the citrus, but I also like to eat grapefruit every day. It's also a fat burner. It burns the fat in your body. Thank you. Unwanted fat. Not that I have much of that, but cut the mushroom in half. Because if I bite this mushroom, because the mushrooms have a lot of water content, it's gonna squirt all over the place, and I don't want to get embarrassed. I love stuffed mushrooms. This is 10 extra left over from this morning. Maybe I'll leave a couple to take to work tomorrow. Take a bite of this. Take a bite. Well, it's my first time having this kind, this one. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not really that spicy. Maybe I should put some kale salad on it. Always gotta be creative. Always trying to be creative. I know that I did say I probably was going to make a few videos when I was on vacation last week. Just didn't happen. I apologize. Time did not permit me to do it. It was a busy, crazy week. A busy, crazy week. Right, Sam?
Yeah.
This is my dinner, guys. I haven't been on YouTube much. I mean, been watching a few videos, but not much. Just not the time. Haven't had the time. But anyway, I gotta wash pass that down. You know when you get those suggestion videos or suggested videos in your YouTube inbox? By the way, I watch a lot of YouTube channels, different kind of channels. You know, different people, different content, different creators. See what's going on in the YouTube kingdom. So, it's most likely that I was suggested a video based on, you know, my history on YouTube. That's really what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to take a few more bites. I'm a little hungry. I'm only eating half of this. Half of this sandwich. You know what, guys? I should have rolled these sleeves out. So anyway, I watched the suggested video. Foo! Get down. Get down, Foofy. My cat. Trying to climb on the iPod.
The iPod?
I mean, what is this thing called again? Tripod. What's an iPod? I forgot.
It's like an iPhone that just used to. They used to make them, but they don't make them anymore. It's
What?
just
Well, tripod, iPod, the thing that's holding you guys up to look at me. Sam did break it, guys. But we're managing to work with it, but it's okay. He felt really bad. Right, Sam? So don't worry about it, babes. It works. You wouldn't even know that it's broken. So anyway, like I said, I'm actually done with this sandwich. It's not the greatest. It's okay. And so I started to look at this person's other videos. A few of them. I skimmed through a few of them. Depends on how long they were, because some of them were long. And I don't have time to watch long videos like that. Or I might come back another time, but if it's not really too interesting to me, I won't go back. But anyway, this one video got my attention. I'm not mentioning anybody's names, or it's not necessary. But I don't know if they'll see this video, but if they do, they probably could assume that I might be saying this, you know, to them. I don't know, but it's nothing bad. But one thing that I gotta do is I gotta take a cut. because I have kale all in my teeth, and I want to take it out, clean my teeth, and then come back because definitely I don't want to talk to you with food in my teeth. So I'll be right back. Sam, can you cut that? Okay guys, I am back. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have any kale hanging in between my teeth, so I had to brush my teeth and floss. You'll notice that the camera is a little bit more elevated, not too much focus on the food, because I have some glass dishes out here that I'm going to start putting the food away in. You know, so there was a few things that I wanted to talk about. First, I don't know what order I'm going to go into, but I remember, sorry for the glass noise, when I first started this channel, you know, I wanted to share my recipes. You know, I already had spoken to you guys about what I do for a living and so on. So, of course, you guys do know that if you've been watching that this is a plant-based show. If you want to call it a show, it's a plant-based channel. So if I eat anything or any recipes that I make is just going to be fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, seeds, things like that. So when I began this channel, if you remember in the beginning, the first few videos, I would like title them like whatever the recipe was going to be, whatever the salad recipe was going to be, and then I would put like mukbang. So I thought some of the mukbang channels are quite interesting, but when I started to look a little bit more in depth, you'll notice a shift in what I call my videos. So I don't use mukbang any longer. I share what the recipe is and what the subject of whatever it is that I'm going to be talking about. So with that being said, I wanted to bring up a subject. Before, when I was talking to you guys, I had gotten a inbox, you know, for a suggested video. I've seen this person's videos in the past. You know, I skimmed through them, you know, to see. I'm not going to say anybody's not interested, you know, because once in a blue moon I've went back there just to, you know, check it out. So I haven't been there in a while. But anyway, I got this suggested video. And so, I'm sorry guys, I'm making a mess here. I said, you know what? Let me listen to this. So, this was yesterday actually. Or was it yesterday? No, it was today. Today is Monday, guys. I don't know when I'm gonna render this, edit this video, upload it on YouTube, but today is Monday. And you know, sometimes when you watch videos, there's something about that video that makes you want to, I mean, this is nothing bad, you know. I'm not into any of that kind of, you know, drama to talk negative about people, because for me, whatever I give to anybody, well, that's actually why I created my channel, is to share all of my recipes, or just to make, even if it's an advice that I have to give. You know, my channel is new, it's very, very tiny. I'm not in any rush for it to get bigger, because God is going to take, you know, my channel where He wants it to go. So if there's times where I might have a message that I wanted to talk about, whoever's supposed to get that message will. But anyway, you know, one thing I learned, I can go way as far back to being young. You learn as you grow, because, you know, of course, everything is in increments. You learn by correction. No matter how you're going to get that correction, from who, from what, you know, where the source of correction is coming from. Of course, it comes from one source. But as far as how you're going to get that message, for instance, like you might get a message on YouTube or whatever. But I particularly, you know, I hear a lot of people talking, you know, using, you know, God on their, you know, platform, which there's nothing wrong with that. But particularly I wanted to say to those, and I don't want anyone to misinterpret my words and to twist what I'm saying around, because you'll actually understand, hopefully, you know, the point that I'm trying to make and where I'm trying to go with, you know, what I'm telling you is that for those that say they are, you know, Christians, or I'm putting the mushrooms inside the container, guys, that say they are Christians and they follow Christianity, if you want to do, I do a lot of research, you know, and I learned that the word Christian is mentioned only one place, and the word Christianity is mentioned in one place, so they're both mentioned once each. And those were words that were translated into the English language. So it should have been, that word Christian and the word Christianity was a, either if it, I don't know if it was intentional or because they didn't know how to translate it properly, but it would mean one that submits his will to good, one who submits his will to God, because we know that God is the only one that is good. And so with that being said, I'm not bashing anybody's religion. That's one thing that I wouldn't want to do. But the point of me saying this is that we're going to talk about a YouTuber A and a YouTuber B. I'm not going to say he, she. I'm not going to mention, you know, their names. Or I really don't know their names. I only learned about one today. I only learned about YouTuber B today because I went to look at YouTuber B's video because of YouTuber A. And YouTuber A, if I understand it well enough, because I watched a few of the, we're going to edit this out. I watched a few of YouTuber A's videos. YouTuber A had, I guess, did some kind of challenge, and YouTuber B, I guess, did the same challenge, and YouTuber B is a bigger YouTube channel than YouTuber A. And if I understood the video correctly, I guess YouTuber A was very upset with YouTuber B for, I guess, stealing the challenge and not giving YouTuber B, didn't give YouTuber A credit for that challenge. You know, I did take a few notes because I wanted to read, because I noticed in the YouTuber A's videos that YouTuber is always, you know, talking about God And it's possible that some of us probably didn't get a chance to read some Bible. I'm going to use the Bible. Bible verses you probably missed and maybe you didn't learn them yet. But I just wanted to share some thought-provoking verses with you guys. Let's see. I think I might need to put my glasses on for this. In Romans chapter 13:9 says, owe no man anything. Like, don't owe anybody anything. Rather, if it's physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever you have, you give it. He says, and love one another. Now, let's just say, for instance, if I was seeking a religion to, get close to God, which I wouldn't do, I would probably not want to be in a religion that would be called Christianity. And then listen, I can address things how I learned them. I know that it probably would upset people, but then again, this is not to, God said to provoke. If you're going to provoke anybody, you provoke them to love. When we hear the word provoke, we always, want to provoke somebody to anger or, provoke them to be negative, but God is saying, no, if you're going to provoke anybody or anyone, you provoke them to love. So that's the whole point of my message. Now, but what I did also wanted to read, and this is really interesting. I have my tablet here, guys. So I'm going to read it from here. You see? I just got to remember where that verse is. Just bear with me. Okay, so here's the finishing up of that verse of Romans chapter 13, verse 8. It says, owe no man nothing, but to love one another. For he that loveth another has fulfilled the law. So, in case anybody hasn't read that, like, we're born in here naked with nothing, and that's the same way we go. Nothing belongs to us. Everything was, created good, and God created everything for everybody. It's not necessary to say someone stole this or someone stole that from you. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up is that this one's saying they started this challenge, or that one's saying they started this challenge, and then, maybe probably someone is not even interested in those challenges. They just see them on YouTube and they want to get involved. They're not stealing anything. You're putting it on your platform for people, to share with people. That would be your position. You want to make someone else better? You can't be greedy. So, I just want to read from Ecclesiastes. Let me find it first, guys, because I did take my notes. Let's see. All right. All right. I gotta put my glasses on for this, guys. Believe me. Okay. My glasses. Okay. This is in Ecclesiastes, not Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verses 10 and 11. It says, "Whatsoever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where you go." And that was very powerful. I can go on to read much more, but I just wanted to read Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10 and 11. And then I want to go to the same book of Ecclesiastes, and go to chapter 3. This has 22 chapters. Like I said, whoever is staying this long enough to watch this, thank you, but it's really no thanks to me. You know, this might be something that's probably not too interesting to other people. But just to say that maybe a lot of people who claim, you know, these books might have not seen them. And so in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, I'm going to start in verse 1, and I'm going to read all the way to 22. I think it's necessary. He's going to start in verse 1. "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which was planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up." When you see that word, "a time to kill," that doesn't mean you kill another human being. To kill means to get rid of your bad energy, to kill that negativity inside of you. Kill it. Because there's no elevation in death, it's just a silence. So that a time to kill means you kill if you want to call it evil, you kill the evil inside. You come close to God. Let's see. Do good, because God also has another name, good or goodness. A lot of people say, "Oh my goodness." You're really saying, "Oh my God," because He's the only goodness. So a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. We break down, we get corrected, we get built back up again. We're going in verse 4, a time to weep and a time to laugh, and a time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Now a lot of people would see that verse that I just read where it says a time to love. That's in verse 8 of Ecclesiastes 3. Where it says a time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Like that would almost say we should love and hate. Love and hate like another human being if we felt betrayed by them, or if we feel that they've taken something away from us without our permission. You feel like you hate them. They did something bad to you. When it says a time to love and a time to hate, when you start to love yourself, you're going to hate who you used to be, because if there's a lack of patience, there's a lack of humility. So you might believe that this could be any religion, by the way, but anyway, I'm just want to be particular. I almost lost my train of thought, but we're not going to edit this. Let me read it again so I can try to remember. A time to love and a time, this is verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Okay, you always feel like you love yourself, We don't know, but we know that God really is only love. So when there's a time to hate, you hate who you used to be. Like if you want to call them sins, if you're talking about your sins, you hate your sins, so you're gonna come away. You're gonna hate that about yourself, but you're not gonna continue to do them. If you're corrected, you're corrected. Because God is tempted with evil. A time of war and a time of peace. That's the rest of that verse. A time of war. There's always a constant battle within our own selves. Because of our lack of discernment and bad judgment, because we are so distracted or influenced by things that we make our mind too full to really examine our own self. So there's always going to be a war, rather with yourself or with somebody else. If you're really at war with someone else, and I'm not talking about being in a battlefield with grenades and guns and things like that. Those things are just a physical manifestation of the reality of the darkness of the heart of man, because we're not supposed to kill, anything. So, maybe we can go on with just one verse and have this long talk. There's just so much to talk about, but I really want to get to my point. So now after that, we're going to go back to verse 9. We didn't get to verse 9, but here's verse 9 after the verse I just read. It says, what profit has he that work, and that wherein he labor? Like, what profit do you have? Really, what profit do you have in the work that you do, really, if you really honestly think about it? Because remember, you're born naked with nothing. And you're going to die with nothing. Go right back to the dust with nothing. And down at verse 10. I have seen the travail which God had given to the sons of men to be exercised in. The travail, like if God's spirit is really moving an individual inside, you'll travail. You're gonna cry out, because in the past you weren't really successful and you really didn't care about that anyway. But there probably would come a point with most humans, I guess. I don't know about everybody, but I would like to believe that it is everybody in all the world that has all the inhabitants, the humans that live and take up residency on the earth, that you travail, like you're waiting for a sense of, I guess, of a completeness when the pain is over, He had everything beautiful. He had made everything beautiful in his time, also had set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God makes from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. And also that every man should eat and drink and rejoice. Verse 13. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. I know that whatsoever God does, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it. nor anything taken from it, and God does it, that men should fear him. You know, when you see that word that men should fear God, it's not like a paranoid or I'm afraid of the thunder, or I'm afraid that I'm going to get a beating, like, or I'm afraid I'm going to get robbed. This word was translated, you know, from the English, but into English, but the word fear is the opposite of what we define fear as. And fear here means to love. To love. To love him. Like, and if we love him, we continue to either learn how to do good or stay on a good path. Because I mean, it's possible, you know, you can fall away for, I don't want to say fall away, but you know, when you're in a wrong going in a wrong direction, anything can happen to get your attention. And of course, you know, we're not going to really think that, you know, it's a spanking, you know, from the Almighty. However he's going to get our attention. It could be through finances, an illness, a death. It could be anything. We wouldn't think, because we would learn. Well, we were supposed to learn from these things and why they would happen. I just don't want to get off track. And let's see where we left off. Okay, when we were in verse 13 of Ecclesiastes 3, where it says, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. I know that whatsoever God does, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it nor taken away from it. And God had did it, that men should fear before him. But back in verse 13, and it says, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. But when you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31, it says, whatever you do, whether if you eat or if you drink, whatever you do, give all the glory to God. Okay, now this is now going in verse 15. This goes back to those who started what challenge first. It really doesn't even matter. It just doesn't matter. If you have something that you want, whatever is going to come to, whatever belongs to you is going to come to you not according to your time. You know, it's not going to come according to your time. There's no reason to be in a haste. You know, so here are verse 15. That which has been now, and that which is to be, and that which, you know, more or less, okay, and that which has been, that which is now, has already been, and God required that which was past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and that the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and every work. And I said in my heart, I'm going to read it again. And I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose under that. There's a time and purpose for, we're going to edit this. I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. He's calling us like an animal. Like, you know. Sorry about that, guys. My camera's getting full. I just want to say this real quick because I don't want to say it quick, but I guess my video is getting too long, so I have to delete some old videos from there. So let me try to finish this. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beast, and that one thing befalleth them, as one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man had no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go unto one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to the dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of men that goeth upward? Like, who knows who's going to heaven? And who knows, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Because God also calls mankind a beast, because we act like an animal sometimes. So who knows who's going to heaven? Who knows who's, if you want to call it hell? And when we learn what hell means in the Bible, it means, you know, just to die, you know, like if you were never born. Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? You know, and just the whole point of me just even bringing that up, and I need to drink some tea because my mouth is dry. Is that I think that a lot of us should be a lot more careful, you know, about what we think belongs to us. And sometimes, you know, God can take it all away. But the lack of patience is a lack of humility. You know, I hope that my little message here could be an enlightenment to somebody. I believe that if you got this far, whoever the message is supposed to go to, it will, you know. I have a very small YouTube channel. I don't post that often because I don't have time. I wish I did have more time. But I'm not in any rush for my channel to grow. Like I said, God will take it wherever He wants it to take it. And whatever recipe you see here that I do, you're more than welcome to do it yourself and change it if you want to. So anyway, kings and queens, I'm gonna finish cleaning up here, and I just want to keep everybody in my thoughts and prayers, and that you will be in a better place tomorrow than you were today. That's what I believe. And I think that's all I'm gonna say right now. If you want to follow me over here, you can also check me out on Instagram. I'll leave my address down in the description box. And that's it. Also, I was going to say something else, but I noticed that my camera is telling me that I got to go. But thanks for listening to me, and if you enjoy the content and material, you know, on my channel, you know, hit subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't already. And thanks for watching. Peace and blessings, kings and queens.